Hello, YouTube. I want to talk to you about why you need to own a gun and have a home security system. I used to have a home. I was very progressive. I was left of center. I accept, I should say accepted other people from other groups, other racial groups. I'm not racist, but I've learned that some of these people you cannot trust. I had a bunch of Latino neighbors. They had their property across the street in the neighborhood before I did, and these people promised to protect my home and protect my family when I was working and I wasn't home. Instead, they broke into my house and they burglarized my home, and they came back and they broke my windows out. They stole my toilet, literally unbolted the whole toilet from the floor and carried it out. Stole my well tank and broke my well pipes off in the well shack going into the cement. You might say, well, that doesn't sound very expensive to replace and repair. Well, the issue initially might have been repair costs, replacement costs for parts, but it quickly evolved into them basically being like, you try to do anything to stop us from committing further crimes against you, and we'll attack your property and your family. That is literally what one of these individuals told me. He said, I won't be responsible for what happens to you if you come back out here. And the police told me that they were going to come back. These criminals were, and they did. These people were drug dealers. They were Mexican. This incident happened in Texas, and the police told me I should just move away from my home. The sheriff's department did. So we moved, and these people started filing false reports against us to both law enforcement and social services. You need to own your own weapons. You need to own very substantial weapon deterrence. You need to have high-powered rifles, and you need to have sufficient protection so that you look like you can respond to threats from groups of these criminals associated with the cartels that have infested Texas. I didn't own any guns when I was a homeowner. I didn't think it was necessary until some of my other neighbors in the community let loose a hungry pack of dogs that came and literally killed one of the cats in a tug of war that we had outside that was meant to be out there to keep the rodents and stuff that were in the neighborhood down from some of these dilapidated properties in our community. And that cat did not die immediately. It died slowly. And I built a high fence to keep the dogs out, not realizing that the problem ran much deeper than a simple pack of loose dogs. There were neighbors out there who were career criminals. These Latinos with ties to the cartels practice crime as a way of life. This is not meant to be specifically a statement about their race either. I'm not racist. I've dated more than one Mexican. I am telling you that these people come from a very different world than us. They come from a different way of life. And many of them, while they come to this country to work hard and have a chance to have a good life that they can't have in their home countries, many of these people are hardcore criminals that just want to destroy. They want to feed off the system, and they want to create devastation wherever they go, getting drunk and getting high and raping and killing their way across America. The conservative side is right about some of that. Unfortunately, it's the truth. They bring fentanyl and they poison our communities, and they litter, and they take in animals that they can't take care of and let them breed out of control, and then let the stray, hungry animals go and tear apart the neighborhoods and the community. And they just dump. They drag trash home and they dump it on their property and they just leave it there. My neighbors would pour antifreeze and motor oil on the ground. They would poison our groundwater. They would burn toxic trash in the front yard. They had a toilet sitting in their front yard that they were growing plants out of. There were aquariums out there in their front yard, and wrecked cars, and engines, and pretty much anything else that you could think of. Broken down trailers, piles of rotted wood, overgrowth all on the edge of their property. When these people come to America, a lot of them just want to live like trash. That's the truth. And this is not a racist thing to say. These people come in and they're an infection. Some of these people come in and they just ruin everything that they touch. And then you try to be good to them and they rob your damn house and threaten to kill you if you come back. That's what I had to deal with. My house ended up going to foreclosure. And they're still out there. Those people are still there. Nobody got arrested because local law enforcement doesn't give a shit. They don't care. Do not depend on the police to protect your home or your family or any of your shit, because they won't do it. Even if something bad happens to you. It's like a war zone in some of these communities that are being infected by the cartel and their associates. I've got nothing personal against anybody's race, but the fact remains that these people, these crime families, come from organized crime groups, and they're associating and moving product for organized crime groups. And they get into all this other bullshit, and you're sitting there just trying to have a life and raise your family and go to work, and you come home and you find your house is wrecked. And now you don't have running water. And you have to do all this infrastructure repair. And your sanitation system has been sabotaged by somebody who put wash rags down it. That's another thing I had to deal with. They destroyed my on-site septic system. It had to have thousands of dollars worth of repairs because these jerks did not want my family to be able to live in the house. And local law enforcement wouldn't do anything to clean that community up for a long time. It took me years. Finally, they got the Department of Public Safety out there, and they got a new police chief and new officers at the local police department nearby. But it took years to get all that done. They had a rapist cop over there on the police force. It's just ridiculous. How can anybody hold on to anything in America with this shitstorm coming down? You have to have your own weapons. You have to be able to protect yourself and your family and your assets. If you don't have those things, then nothing else you accumulate or build matters, because somebody can just sweep in there and take it. The police won't do a damn thing to prove it when those crimes happen.